Homer stood up and stuck his head right into a beehive. Blinded by the swarm, he stumbled and fell into a patch of blueberry bushes, getting dyed completely blue. He wriggled around in discomfort and accidentally wrapped a tablecloth around himself, unintentionally cosplaying as Marge perfectly. Kirk and Luann were about to announce big news. Bart thought they were long-lost twins, but it turned out they were getting remarried. Milhouse was the happiest one of all. The wedding ceremony of Kirk and Luann began. The priest asked Luann if she would marry Kirk, even though the man was lazy, gluttonous, and extremely annoying.
I do.
The groom may now kiss the bride. The priest urged them to hurry, for the seagulls were already feasting on the appetizers. The guests sent the newlyweds off on a cruise for their honeymoon and entrusted Milhouse to the Simpson family. Milhouse was still floating on cloud nine over his parents' reunion. Meanwhile, his parents were making out on the choppy cruise ship. The ship lurched suddenly and they stumbled backward uncontrollably, eventually tumbling overboard and into the sea.
Luann, is that you nibbling on my knee?
Milhouse and Bart were playing games at that moment. They found a spider hole, poured water into it, and wondered where it would lead. A jet of water suddenly shot up right in front of Lisa, sending countless spiders scurrying out. Lisa screamed and threw away her doll, while Bart and Milhouse laughed their heads off. Just then, a crew member from the cruise ship showed up to find Milhouse and broke the news that his parents had gone missing at sea. The news hit Milhouse like a ton of bricks. Bart, completely clueless about what had happened, pestered him to keep playing.
Hey, who died?
My parents, probably.
Milhouse was determined to find his parents, but it was practically like looking for a needle in a haystack. The next day, Milhouse was a completely different kid. He couldn't summon up any energy for anything. Marge tried to encourage him, saying there was still hope, but then a crew member announced that the search and rescue mission was being called off. Bart tried to cheer Milhouse up with games, but Milhouse just couldn't get into it. Seeing how downcast Milhouse was, Maggie kindly offered him some milk. Watching himself drink the milk, Milhouse had an epiphany. With his parents gone, he had to grow up to be a man. At school, the kids were playing marbles. The marbles rolled right to the feet of a brooding, melancholy-looking man. All the classmates were drawn to his mysterious aura. Bart told everyone to take good care of Milhouse, but Nelson started making jokes about Milhouse's missing parents. To everyone's surprise, Milhouse didn't react at all. Nelson threatened to beat him up, but Milhouse showed not a hint of fear. This brooding, unflappable vibe made Lisa completely smitten. She became his #1 fan. Bart was no longer the coolest kid in school. He even got ostracized by his classmates. Not even Ralph would talk to him. Next to Milhouse's deep melancholy, Bart's antics just seemed like the childish games of a 10-year-old.
Check it out! This image has not been sped up.
Bart found a popularity poll at school. His approval rating was getting crushed by Milhouse's. He knew he had to make Milhouse happy again. He remembered Milhouse had a distant uncle, so he immediately called him up. The uncle arrived in a flashy glider, and Bart couldn't believe how cool Milhouse's uncle was. Milhouse was moping around, pretending to smoke a cigarette. Bart brought his uncle to find him, but Milhouse insisted he could take care of himself now. Still, he was just a kid, after all. Under his uncle's gentle persuasion, Milhouse finally let his vulnerable side show. Bart thought he'd solved the problem, but he never expected that Milhouse's vulnerable, melancholy side would only make the girl's maternal instincts kick into overdrive. Bart had completely miscalculated. With his super cool uncle around, Milhouse became even more popular. Bart asked Lisa why he felt so unhappy when Milhouse was happiness. Lisa said it was because Bart was afraid of losing Milhouse as a friend. Bart tried to deny it at first.
I love him so much.
Oh, it's okay.
Then the principal announced that Milhouse was going to travel around the world with his uncle. They said goodbye to their classmates and set off in a hot air balloon. But Bart couldn't bear to let Milhouse leave. He clung onto the balloon's rope and went along with him. He climbed up the rope mid-air and scrambled into the balloon, ready to join Milhouse on his world tour. Meanwhile, far out at sea, Milhouse's parents were actually still alive. They had just been stranded on a deserted island. After days of hard work, they built a glider. If everything went smoothly, they would reach Springfield the next day. Tragically, their glider collided with Milhouse's hot air balloon. Everyone fell down and landed on the same deserted island. Milhouse rushed into his parents' arms without a second thought, but for now, they all had to figure out how to survive on the island together.